G'day, guys, and welcome back to the Couch Commentators podcast, the fastest growing podcast in the nation, and some would say the world. As always, I've got Brandon, Dan, and not James with us this week, guys. He's away for work, but that's okay. We're here to talk about all things sports, so sit back and enjoy. So, boys, how have we been? Dan, how are you, mate?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Just living the dream, you know. What kicking back, just working.
Same answer we get every week. And how bloody good's that? Brandon, mate, how you doing?
Yeah, mate, not too bad. I do realize that when you introed, you said Brandon and Dan. Yeah, but that was wrong, obviously. Yeah, on the camera flip. So, but I'm doing well. Other than Leachy's losing was tough, but other than that, yeah.
Hey, look, that's fair. And I think it's a good time to get into the accountability segment, mate. 4 losses this week. Quite upsetting. My top tip, Wave Rider boy, got too far back with a little bit too much to do. So quite upsetting going under it near even money. But, another 10 strides I'd have got there, but it was still an L on the day. How about you, Leachy? Talk us through yours.
Yeah, look, I mean, I did watch both our two horses. It was sad to see. Wave Rider Boy, I think, got second. My horse was a favourite. Didn't even get a fucking place. It came like fourth. I knew it was like 2,500, but still, it was a shocking effort.
Yeah, look, it was quite sad to watch.
Yeah, look, yeah, you can't win them all. And at the end of the day, keep punting.
How about you, Dan, mate? Walk us through your dumb decision.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, I can't even remember it, but I'm pretty sure it fucking failed miserably.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. And, mate, Jim's Jam. James, how was that, mate? Yep, fucking oath. I'll tell you, it didn't win. So, yeah, couple of losses for us this week, as per. But next week, guys, or this week coming, sorry, we'll get back on the horse and we're gonna get some dubs. All right, guys. So let's head straight into horse racing. So, look, spring is in the air. Last Saturday was the return of some of the good horses. Unfortunately, hard by a couple of inches. But the Group 2 Missile Stakes was run and won by I Am Me, the Ma and Youth trained old mare. Went to the start nice and early, led the whole way before, unfortunately, Big Parade, trained by Joe Pride, went up to eyeball her at the turn and then unfortunately broke her shoulder and was needed to be euthanized on the track. It was, I think that was going to be a fantastic match race because I'm not too sure. I know Golden Mile was traveling well in behind, but I thought those two were going to pull away there and have a bit of a battle. But I don't know if you guys watched. Did you guys happen to see that race in particular?
Look, I didn't, but I did see it all over the Facebook and that sort of stuff. It was very sad to see. You never want to see that happen to any horse or jockeys or anyone like that.
What about you, Dan? Did you catch that one, mate?
Nah, normal Saturday for me. I didn't watch any racing, you know. Watched some footy, but no racing whatsoever.
Bit of footy?
I watched the footy. The Dragons played on Saturday, so, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, that wasn't the only injury, unfortunately. The next one came down at Flemington. Matt Smith trained horse. The name escapes me now. I think it was first in line. He was first past the post. Blake Shin aboard rode the horse to victory. As they were coming back to the mounting yard, Blake Shin said in an interview that he felt something wasn't quite right with the horse. He jumped off, and only moments later, the horse had a heart attack. So it was very sad for all connections involved, and also Blake Shin in the interview post race, he was tearing up almost as well. So it sort of does show you how much they obviously do care for the horse, the connection they can make. So quite an upsetting weekend in all racing, but we'll talk about some positives and some other things going forward. So as of yesterday, Monday, the 7th of August, the Cox Plate and Caulfield Cup nominations were closed at about midday. There are some fantastic horses that are looking to come over to Melbourne for the spring. Now, I've just got on my phone here a little list that I want to bring up. Right, so this is Caulfield Cup nominations. I'm just going to scroll through a couple here. Now, we've got some of the the stock standard horses up for your Alaskan guy, Braden Starr's in there, but you've got some interesting internationals. Like there's one from Japan coming over called Breakup. Now he's not one of their top class on horses over there, but don't need to be top level Group 1 horse. Be able to win them being a handicap. He's won Breakup. Adelaide River, trained by Aidan O'Brien over in the UK, is another interesting one. Broom, another Aidan O'Brien horse that travelled to Hong Kong. So a couple of interesting ones there. Now, just bear with me, guys, and I'll head to the Cox Plate. And the Cox Plate, there's Paddington. Interesting one, because if Paddington comes to the Cox Plate, once again trained by Aidan O'Brien, it probably wipes the floor. So that's going to be exciting. Romantic Warrior, as just mentioned, he is all confirmed for it, which is absolutely fantastic. And then Aidan O'Brien also has another interesting horse coming over, or possibly coming over, which is nommed for the plate, which is a Japanese horse, continuous Japanese bred. So a lot of exciting Cox Plate and Caulfield Cup noms. Now they will obviously be outcome over time to, maybe to each race nationals. Find out. Another brief one. Simon Miller went on to the RSN Racing podcast on Monday, stated that Amelia's Jewel is now back into work. She's just done some track gallops now. There's actually footage of that on Twitter if you check out Amelia Park Racing. And he reckons that Amelia's Jewel is still a possibility for the Cox Plate. It's what's putting him off though. Obviously, the Golden Eagle has that massive prize money, that $10 million. The only thing is, doesn't want to start her. She's got 2 races, Melbourne, absolutely confirmed for that. Doesn't want to drive her up Sydney, get freight her up on a truck on the Hume Highway, and then back down to Melbourne. He would preferably like to stay in the same place if he can still be convinced of starting in the. At the moment, it's still Golden Eagle, but there is a possibility either way. Fantastic to see. And then lastly on the horse racing, guys, this Friday, we've got a massive amount of trials led by Nature Strip. He's coming back as a 9-year-old now, so he's getting well up there in age. But how's this for a list of trialists? You've got Nature Strip, Alligator Blood, Zaki, Montefiglia, Espiona, Shinzo, Alcohol Free, Communist, Kovalica. The list goes on. I said it last week, I said it the week, guys, but spring racing is absolutely, and I'm excited for it. Brandon, who's, of that list I've just said, who's probably your most exciting runner?
Look, mate, there's a lot of good horses coming up, and it's great to, as you said, spring's in the air. Spring is in the air. I want to see Alligator Blood back, with a bit more time under its belt. Like, obviously, it came back from an injury, so now giving a bit more time to rest, heal. It's had its run, it's raced good last prep. See how it goes again, I guess.
Mate, I agree completely, mate. He's had one trial and he looked absolutely fantastic. But him on top of the ground, obviously on the soft and heavy doesn't go too well. But if he gets a firm track, he is up to his ears in any race. Carnival. What about you?
Probably with Kovalica, mate. I reckon he'll have a good spring.
Oh, jeez, how's that, eh? Well, just quietly as well on Kovalica. Caulfield Cup, boys, I think that could be out the window. He's the favourite for it now. Chris Waller is aware, and he's afraid of the handicapper. All right, guys, now we'll head over to the different sports. So the Matildas have gotten the dub 2-0 over Denmark. In another interesting game with some absolutely fantastic goals scored. I don't know about you guys. I wasn't well up for the World Cup, before it started, but the media has really, dragged me in and made me want to watch the next few games. Call me a fair weather fan, call me what you want, but I'm extremely excited to watch us for Saturday night. About you, Brandon? Your thoughts?
Look, I love the Tillies there. They're going well, so any Australian team that's going well, I will support, and I'll probably watch them as well. I think against France, good team, I assume. Usually they are.
Oui.
But yeah, I I might put it on. I don't know what games of rugby league's on, so maybe watch the Tillies.
I can confirm it's a West Tigers game, mate, so you don't have to watch that.
Oh no, yeah, I don't have to watch that. Yeah, so.
How about you, Dan? You been keeping up with it at all, mate?
Mate, I've been like seeing it on TikTok and Facebook and that, but I'll probably definitely be watching this game as it's a quarterfinal and it's straight after the Dragons game. So Dragons play at 3, gonna disappoint me. Hopefully the Tillies won't disappoint me.
Mate, fingers crossed for you, but yeah, it's going to be an exciting game, especially to see what the coach ends up doing with Sam Kerr. It's no, it's known that she's playing. I wouldn't say she might be playing injured, but she's definitely not fit to play a full 90 minutes. She came on with 10 minutes to go against Denmark. Nothing spectacular. It was more just to keep the game off, maybe strike a bit of fear into Denmark sort of thing. But I really want to see what the coach does, if he gives her more, maybe a whole second, build her in. If the Matildas win against France, build her into a final. Because just imagine the story. If Matildas win against France, she starts the semi, starts the final, wins it for us, or, at least plays a part in winning it for us. Imagine the story of her missing the group stages. Bang, bang, bang. It'd be fantastic.
It'll become the Sam Kerr show, I believe.
I mean, she's the best player in the world, arguably. So,
Best female player in the world. I need to.
Yes, female player, sorry.
Yeah, but another World Cup, guys, was just finalised. The Australians, the Diamonds, have beaten the Poms in the Netball World Cup. Gave them an absolute battering. I think it was like 61-45.
Do we really care? It's netball.
Anyway, guys, let's head over to boxing. Now, call it boxing, call it what you want. I call it a bit of a freak show, but guys, Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I think I'll let Brandon handle this one. Mate, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know how strongly you feel about Jake Paul on boxers.
Oh, he loves the bully old MMA fighters. It's great to see. People who are past their prime, people who are on losing streaks from MMA, and then want some money, they go get the millions elsewhere. They go to boxing, and Jake Paul will call them out. Some will say some of them took dives. Maybe, I don't know. We'll never know. But watching that, I did watch a little bit of the highlights. It was pretty much a nothing fight. Like if they went to MMA, Jake Paul probably loses. That's with most fighters he fights, I guess. But he will never fight anyone in MMA. Although he did call they predicting maybe a second fight in MMA. I don't think it'll happen though.
Dan, mate, thoughts on this? Because I know.
Yeah, look, fucking. I just want to say Nate Diaz looked like he took about fucking 20 punches to the face before he walked into this fight. Because his face was that fucked up. I mean, he's probably been fucking punched so hard that much, it's not even funny.
He has got so much scar tissue from all his MMA fights. Fighting as a teenager, fighting as a kid. He like a couple of jabs to the face, and it looks like the bloke's been 10 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime. Like fresh out of jail, Mike Tyson. But
Jesus.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was at the shops at the time watching it, but I luckily snuck out to the TAB. No word of a lie, snuck out to the TAB. Had the footy on one screen, the races on another, and then on my phone I just had propped up the fight because I streamed it. What are you going to do?
Talking about TAB, did you know it was the second highest betted on fight in boxing history, which is fucking...
What was the first? Conor, maybe?
I can't remember. It was one recent, I think, as well. I think people are just becoming more gamblers.
Gamble responsibly.
I also think America's getting more into the similar culture to what Australia is and have a lot of betting agencies now. So
DraftKings.
Just while we're on the topic of Jake Paul, like we all know Jake Paul versus KSI might happen the end of this year. Well, now maybe won't happen.
What's that?
There's
what KSI do?
there's rumors going around that KSI's upcoming fight against Tommy Fury might be his last because Jake keeps ducking it. Jake keeps being a bitch.
I think KSI might get his face jabbed off by Tommy Fury, in all honesty.
I'm not going to lie. I think KSI is going to take an L.
But back onto the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz thing. Look, Jake obviously... He obviously can box. He's got, millions of dollars. from the age of, I don't know, how old is he now? 27? 26, something like that?
I think he's the same age as me and Brandon, I'm pretty sure.
So probably what, from the age of 18, the bloke's boxed and done boxing training non-stop, right? So 7 years of boxing training, 6 years of boxing training, whatever it is, full time, with, all the money in the world in order to bring in, the best opponents, or not best opponents, sorry, best sparring partners. He's absolutely a good boxer, don't get me wrong. But once again, he's fighting, as Brandon said, MMA fighters. I know he won on the scorecards, but Diaz was just taking the last few rounds. He walks up and he doesn't throw power punches. Diaz, he's just like, pitter patter, jab, 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 straight uppercut, and just you saw the dirty boxing in nice and close and just wailing on him. But Jake seems to have these really strong first 2 rounds where he's full of power, and then I wouldn't say surviving because that's just showing no respect to him, but just circling away, staying away. But look, if they do have an MMA fight, that would probably be one of the that no one would sanction it. He would get his ass kicked. Diaz throws. I know he doesn't throw leg kicks, but Jesus, if Diaz throws a few leg kicks in, goes for a takedown, grabs a clinch, it's just over for Jake Paul. I don't care. I don't care who he fights. Anyone with an MMA background would beat the piss out of him.
I mean, fucking Nate Diaz put him in a fucking chokehold in the boxing fight anyway, so.
That's true. I would want to see. Supposedly, both the Paul brothers have a bit of a wrestling background, so maybe you might be a bit of a Khabib on the MMA. I doubt it.
Oh, I definitely, yeah. I mean, I know Logan for sure has a wrestling background. Don't know so much about Jake, but yeah. Look, wrestle all you want, dude. I mean, Nate will probably.
It's almost like Logan is in WWE.
God, no, cut that. Not that wrestling, for fuck's sake. Anyway, guys.
It's real, trust me.
More boxing news. Jamel Charlo is now to be stripped of his 154-pound title, and Tim Tszyu, the Aussie, is going to be elevated from interim champ to full champ. It seems quite obvious now that Jamel Charlo had been ducking Tim Tszyu. He was throwing up all these things like it's not a money fight. He has to come over here and fight me, whatever you want, but he was making every excuse under the sun. Charlo now has been stripped, and it looks like he's going to go up a division or 2 and fight Canelo Alvarez. So, I mean, if I was Jamal Charlo, I think I'd know who I'd want to fight between Tim Tszyu and Canelo Alvarez, because I think Canelo's going to kill him.
Yeah, I think either fight he's probably going to lose. I think Timmy beats him as well. That's why he's been ducking him. And I think, Canelo also beats him. He loses his titles as soon as he steps in the ring, technically. So he still has them. But as soon as he gets in the ring with Canelo, it's all over for his titles.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Dan's got nothing, just a few head nods. That's Dan's boxing knowledge.
You know that fucking the fucking thing in Homer's brain where the monkeys are just playing the fucking thing. That was me right there.
It would have been way better if you just did what you normally did when you don't know something about sport. You just go, yeah, fucking, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now we'll head over to Dan's favourite segment. It's either Guess the Athlete or Who Am I? Dan, what do you got for us today, sir?
Mate, because I was totally prepared for this, I am going with another Guess the Athlete, even though I said I'd do a Who Am I this week. But yeah, anyway. I think I might go with Brennan this week.
Back to back. Last week,
Wait,
I actually...
Fuck it, I'll go Lucas.
That's the way.
Forgot about that.
It's going to be piss easy.
It probably will be. But anyway. All right, Lucas, you have 60 seconds to guess the athlete, starting from now.
Oh, shit. Soccer.
No.
NRL.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Currently playing.
No.
Recently retired since 2015.
No.
Played for a Sydney team.
Yes.
Dragons.
Yes.
Mark Asney.
No.
Matt Cooper.
No.
Forward or back?
Back.
Ben Hornby.
Nope.
Reg Gasnier.
Nope.
Darius Boyd.
Nope.
Oh, dude, I don't give a shit about the Dragons. I don't think anyone watches those either. Centre.
No.
Fullback.
Yeah.
Wait. 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay. What's the little short dude that had headgear? Oh, Jamie Soward.
No,
Oh, fuck. I don't know then.
you have
No, present.
5 seconds.
Pass.
Pretty much final guess now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gareth. Yeah, I'm not saying Gareth Widdop. That's a lie. Gareth Widdop. Who's that?
No, he was 5'8".
Gareth Widdop.
Nope.
Who was it?
Anthony the Man Mundine.
Oh, fuck off.
I hate him, but I just, he was in my recent searches.
That was a sick joke and a waste of everyone's time. Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much, Lee.
You said it was going to be easy. Fuck you.
Well, look. Speaking about Anthony Mundine and the sport that bloke participates in, over to the NRL talk. Now, it's been on everyone's mind for a few. I mean, I'd say a few weeks, months. Geez, even leading up to probably midway through last year. But realistically, can anyone beat the Penrith Panthers for the premiership?
Fuck no, they can't.
That was pretty easy. What about you, Brandon? What are you thinking, mate?
Cronulla is a great team, and now that we beat one top 8 team, I can only see us beating every top 8 team. So yes, I think there's one team, and it's probably not us. It's maybe the Broncos.
You'd need a full strength Bronco, right?
Yeah. I mean, full strength. Reynolds has to be there. If not, they're probably not good enough. And then Payne Haas, if he decides to go to Union soon, just go play the World Cup or something. You know,
Coming to the Tigers, mate. Payne Haas is coming to the Tigers.
Well, speaking of Payne Haas, how much was that deal he's rumoured to be turning down?
1.1, I think. And he wants 1.3 at least.
Some shit like that.
I think he'll be coming back to Sydney. Maybe the Roosters. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, the Roosters will find money somehow.
The sombrero.
Yeah, they're a bit of a joke. Anyway, they beat Melbourne 26-6. Now, in classic fashion, Friday nights I didn't watch it, right? But I was in and out. I saw it was 6-0 early, and I thought, oh, this could be interesting. And or 6-2, I think. And then the Panthers just happened. Toto, a couple of tries. Stephen Crichton a try, and it was just domination. Really.
Yeah, their defense is like crazy. I thought maybe it was just the Sharks couldn't score when we versed them the week before. It was 28-0, and then to see them do that to Melbourne, they were missing Hughes and Xavier Coates, but still, you'd think Grant and Munster, they're pretty good. They should be able to put some points on the board, but it was a defensive masterclass.
Like with Penrith, like losing those players at the start of the year, you would have thought, oh, surely something's going to happen, like something's going to unfold and fucking they're going to fall apart, but they just don't seem like they're going to. It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? It just seems like they've spawned this new, they lose one player and they just spawn someone else who's like a regen of that player.
They're like a hydra, like you cut off one head and 6 more grow back.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, I know you think highly of Jerome Luai. After all, he has made your team his bitch for a few seasons now. But
Ouch.
How do you feel about him getting away with a suspension, mate? Without a suspension, should I say?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's the 3rd time he's been given a fine. PBL said it last season. He let Taylor May off.
Don't you dare bad mouth my boy PVL. Well, look what happened last time to Taylor May. He got that off, and then next game he tears an ACL. Maybe this could be it, old Romy. I hope not. I like Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few that like Jerome Luai.
Look, I think I've met the guy before. He seems all right in person.
You didn't fucking say anything to him, did you? Okay.
I told him Sharks were going to win the league. That didn't happen last year, but this year...
Like, Brendan, you say it's for the fans, but like as Lucas said, he's one of the only people that like fucking Jerome Luai. So I don't know why it would be for the fans.
For the fan, Romy. That's me, bro. But yeah, I can understand why you get frustrated when it comes to that. I didn't realize it was his 3rd time getting a fine. Yeah.
Lucky bugger. I mean, like... bring it back to the Sharks as I always do. I mean, Finucane early in the season got like four weeks, and then he got another like 3 weeks in another part of the season. Now he's injured for the season. The bloke probably played maybe 5 games max. But Jerome Luai gets away with anything. So, Panthers get away with everything. Yeah,
Away with
it is.
Moida. Look, Dan, you got something to say, mate? Oh, well done, mate. He's self-control. Something, Jerome, you need to learn that. Now, guys, the Cowboys hype train. Has it been derailed? Are we getting too ahead of ourselves? I think this is 10th now. Will they make the finals?
I haven't looked into their draw, but it looks like
I'm
it's
looking
tough
into it right now.
if they keep losing. I mean, obviously they're not going to make it, but losing the Titans and then a Broncos understrength Broncos with no Reynolds is it's scary signs, I think, for the old Cowboys, the Yeehaws, and poor Joel won't be happy with that.
I really just think that the Broncos are that good as well, that they can make good teams look average. Dan, can you get a rundown of the run home for them, mate?
So this week they've got a really hard game. They've got the bye. So, and then next week they've got a fucking easy game. They've got some fucking fucking sky blue fucking weirdos named the Cronulla Sharks. And then they got Dolphins, and then they're not making the finals.
Who do they have after that?
They got Penrith for last round.
Ooh, that's a bit ugly.
They are not making the finals.
So they easily lose to the Sharks and Penrith. It's going to be tough for them. Got to be tough.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, I mean, as you said, they lost to the Broncos without Reynolds too. So, going to be interesting last few weeks for the Cowboys. Yeah. On the Cowboys, guys, some transfer news. Jake Clifford, and a few 2 seasons in England or one? Yeah. It want to just be this year, isn't it? He was at Newcastle. Yep. And now he's buggered off overseas, and he's coming back next year. I don't know where he plans to play. Do we know where? Well, he won't kick dead now, will he?
Maybe Townsend might get the punt eventually. But
I wouldn't kick out Chatty Daddy.
Maybe he plays 14 and then eventually goes into a understudy to Chad Daddy Townsend.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you rate the signing, or seems like roundabout for the bloke?
I mean, he supposedly has a big future. He was as they all are, Australian representative when they were younger. But
I think Brooks still has a big future.
If he hits the form that they think he can, then maybe him and Dearden could work together. But I don't know. They got to do something at the Cowboys. As we said, 10th place. We're 2nd place last year, so.
As you said, he could play a 14, but then where do you play Reece Robson and Jake Granville? Because they've been interchanging.
I think Jake Granville.
Nah.
I think you take him out back.
Nah, I think you put Granville into the front row again.
Possible. It's possible with Granville. But now we'll get on to the Sharks. They finally beat a top 8 team. Now, at every single point in that game until it was like 20-0, I thought the wheels are coming off here and they'll get spanked. But look, congratulations. I'll eat humble pie. You guys finally beat a semi-decent team. It's not going to matter when you guys miss the 8, or if you do make the 8, go out in straight sets. But look, Sharks fan Brandon, I'll get your thoughts.
Oh, mate, what a glorious week. Lucas to finally eat his words. We beat a top 8 team. We were pumping him, actually, so I didn't know if you watched the game. It was, 26-0 at one stage? Like, bloody hell. And then the commentators kept saying, Souths have the biggest second half points out of any NRL team. I'm like, oh, this is going to be scary. And then when they started coming back, I was afraid. But we stuck true and we defended our asses off and we got that win. And I'm very happy. And I think it's promising signs. I think we now just go undefeated and top 4 finish, grand final win.
Jesus, Dan, mate, what are your thoughts on that shit?
Fuck. Is he blabbering shit nearly every fucking week, cunt? Honestly. Nah, but I think fucking Rabbitohs probably should have fucking beaten them because they're just a bunch of flat track bullies, but it's just the way it is.
Question. Is Latrell Mitchell
washed up?
Back?
Ooh. It's a tough question. I think he is a very lazy. Like he's obviously does a lot, but he's pretty lazy. When I could see Trindle, a reserve grade half now elevated to our top team, he was picking out when Latrell's like over here and he's putting kicks behind for us to get repeat sets, which helped our team get momentum, all that sort of stuff. But he's just, yeah, he's lazy around those 1%ers. And then, like, I thought Connor Tracy actually had a blinder where I was like,
He did, yeah, no, to be fair, he did.
I thought he was playing similar to your Dylan Edwards style, where you're
Fucking
always
hell.
always in the game and you're always taking runs, taking the 1%ers, which Latrell doesn't find himself doing too much. Although he did all right in my fantasy team, so I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, because ghost points, bro, ghost points. What about you, Dan? Is Latrell a fullback?
Like as Brennan said, he's always been a lazy player, but he still does a lot on the field. I don't know, like you could play him at center, but then yeah, I don't know. I just think he needs to be in that fullback jersey.
I think he's a center. I don't think he should be playing fullback. And as you were saying, the 1%ers, right? So I watched a fair bit of the. I reckon I watched 50 minutes of the game, right? And then I just couldn't be asked anymore and went inside, right? So I could probably count on one hand the amount of times Latrell Mitchell took a run after a kick return. Like he'd get the ball and he'd pass it off to a winger, and then instead of having someone pass the ball to him, 110 kilo bloke to have a run, he would be the one at dummy half passing the ball. I seriously could count on one hand how many times the bloke took a run in that game from a defensive position.
It does seem like sometimes if he's on, and he might do those like little things, but most of the time you don't see him taking the head ups, and he might be there for the final touches of tries, and that's when he looks like the superstar that he is.
Yeah, starts throwing his head up like a fucking tool.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think center, yeah, that's a great position for him. 5'8", potentially, maybe a GI kind of thing going on. Maybe, who knows? But
Yep,
I don't know.
I think you could fill in sporadically as a fullback, but week in, week out. I mean, who would argue with? Like, I mean, they get the results, of course, but yeah. Anyway.
Also interesting that they've let Blake Taft go, who's their replacement fullback. He's gone to the Bulldogs. So who's their next up? Maybe they have someone next up, but yeah, obviously Latrell's seen as the future at fullback for the club.
Just saying on that, like Blake Taft going to Doggies, where the fuck's he going to play? Didn't they sign Stephen Crichton to play fullback?
Why both?
True. Matt Burton.
Halfback.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be. But guys, on another Sharks player, a Sharks legend, a guy who I have a lot of respect for, Wade Graham has announced his retirement season. End of the season. Now, we'll try to make this quick. Dan, you might not have. I want Brandon a memory. Your favourite memory of Wade Graham. Do you have something for me?
Would have to be his New South Wales game. I can't remember what.
You're going to take mine, I think.
Where he came into 5'8", and he had a blinder, an absolute blinder. Other than that, I mean, obviously playing in the grand final was something special. But yeah, Wade's had so many games that I just can't put my finger on one good game, you know.
Yeah, well, you just took the words right out my mouth. Where he came on at 5'8" and just steadied the ship. Thank you, Boyd Cordner, for I think he got injured that game. I don't want to thank him.
Probably HIA. Let's be real.
Yeah, it could have been a HIA, but Cordner was taken off. Wade Graham comes on and then goes into 5'8" and just absolutely steers us around the park and wins the game for us. It might have been. It was pouring rain. It might have been the end of season COVID New South Wales Queensland game, but fantastic player on his day. One of the hardest hitters and best tacklers of all time. So yeah, fair play to Wado.
You were correct. I do not have a Wade Graham memory because I don't really like Wade Graham, I'm not going to lie, but he's a good player. He is a decent player. Like, I respect him for that.
Look, that's okay. That's okay. Dan, I want you to take care of this one, mate, because the next bit of info we have is that the NRL once again admitting to a bunker screw up. I just want to say before you start going on is how much of a fucking farce it is that all this money that was spent on the bunker, these fuckheads can't call on forward passes, and Mate, I'm fucking sick of the apologies. I'm sick of the weekly apologies.
Right. How the fuck do you not call that a stripping motion, cunt? Did you see it?
I saw highlights.
Bro, Gutherson's hand is literally going like that at the ball with a stripping motion, and the bunker says, nah, he's not stripping the ball out. It was just a fucking loose carry.
Like I said, it's a fucking farce, bunker. And the refs are fucked.
It's fucking stupid. Like, as you said, they paid all this money for the bunker, and then they just fucking get it wrong 2 weeks in a row. And it's been multiple occasions that they've got it wrong.
Brandon, do you have strong thoughts on this?
I'm also frustrated in the fact that it's just, it seems like every week they come out and it's one game and they're like, oh yeah, we made the mistake. Not much we can do for the fans now or anything. Like, it doesn't really help us at all. It just pisses you off more that they just keep getting it wrong with all these cameras. Also, like, the offside thing, like, soccer have it. Why don't we just have a camera above and just have a fucking line drawn across the field and you're like, okay, yeah, he's offside or not?
I think the reason why they don't have a line is because half the NRL players will try to fucking sport it. So,
that is a good point. They would, yeah. Especially Harry Grant and Brendan Smith and Cameron Munster.
Well, look, staying on the same side as NRL blunders, look, the Tigers lost a close game to the Canberra Raiders, and now somehow somebody has said that the Tigers have a 93.1% chance of getting the wooden spoon. I don't know how you fucking equate a percentage chance, but here we are. But once again, the bunker, Graham Annesley, comes out and says, oh yeah, look, we missed 2 forward passes in the lead up to their tries, which was extremely frustrating being a Tigers fan. I want to revert back to the Dragons game again. Sorry, guys. What's the name of
Ryan Carr.
All right. So Ryan Carr said it best on Sunday afternoon. He said, why the hell am I here explaining to you what happened in the game when the bunker should be here and telling you why he ruled what he ruled? Tim Sheens said near on the exact same thing as well. And I think they are so spot on that the blokes in the bunker and the referees should be not interviewed after the game, but on a like a post-game press conference. They should be at a press conference and have to explain on certain calls that were made during the game that was seen as controversial. That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, I like it. I do like it.
It's definitely, fucking... I don't think it'll happen.
No, of course not.
It definitely should.
Fucking oath it should. But yeah, Tigers, wooden spoon. You know, we all knew it ages ago. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I wonder what the 93.1%. Like, obviously the percentage is if these guys somehow shit the bed and you guys win, but like, where did they get the percentage from?
We could lose all 4 of our next games. Like, let's be real.
I'll do a bet on for you. We will lose all 4 of our next games.
I don't know about that. Have you seen who you've got?
No, I actually don't know.
Warriors, Dolphins, Roosters, Seagulls. You could beat the Dolphins.
So we literally lose all 4 of the fucking games.
Nah, but so could we though. Like, you could beat. If you beat 2 of those teams, you just jump us, and we have Rabbitohs.
They're 2 wins ahead of us.
We have Rabbitohs, Storm, Warriors, and Knights. Dragons are not winning a single fucking game for the rest of the year.
We need to win 3 games to even chance. But anyway, let's go.
Maths is hard.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. It was apparently a very bad tackle in women's rugby league game. Surely one of you blokes watched it.
Yeah, anyone watched the women's NRL? No, I didn't watch it, but I did see the media post of it. Yeah, it was like she was literally both legs and just spun around and dunked.
The old DDT.
Her head literally went like underneath her body, and like her neck was like that.
Jesus, and it was not a send-off, right? The second one ever?
Yes, in the NRLW, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
NRL dub, yeah, how's that, eh? All right, blokes, so look, as usual, I'm going to say the games, and I want you to tell me who your tips are for that week, okay? Or for that game. So we have the Thursday night game. We have got the Manly Seagulls versus the Panthers. Dan, what are you thinking, mate?
No-brainer. It's Penrith.
Fair call, mate. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, up the riff, mate. They seem unstoppable.
That's 3 of us. Three of us taking the riff. So the Friday night 6 o'clock game, guys, we have the Sharks versus the Titans. What are you thinking, Brandon?
Look, I picked it last week. I picked the Sharks. I think the only one on the panel too, and I will pick them again. I think we win comfortably this week, actually.
I will take the Titans here for a sort of upset. Dan, what are you thinking, sir?
I'm on your boat, mate. I want the Titans to win. It's like we hate the Sharks or something.
Yeah, maybe it could be something to do with a certain supporter. But look, the 8 o'clock game, the Broncos are back where they belong on an 8 o'clock Friday night game. Broncos versus Eels in Queensland. I'm going to be taking the Broncos by destruction. Brandon?
I think, Eels sometimes get the wood over these guys. And actually, I'm going to pick the upset. I'm going to go the Eels. Dylan Brown back into his second game. So Cardi looked pretty well, although their defence let in a lot of tries last week. James isn't here to defend him, but
Yeah.
I will be picking the Eels. I will.
He'd be backing himself into a corner and swinging if he was here. And what are you thinking, sir?
Well, Lucas, I want to go back to your tip and say I think you'll be watching the back of your eyelids because,
Correct.
typical Friday night game, but I'm going to go with the Broncos.
All right. Fair call, mate. Fair call. 2-1 there. The Saturday 3 o'clock game is the Rabbitohs versus the Dragons. Dan, do you feel a bit of confidence after last week's performance by the Bunnies and your performance?
Mate, you can't really say the Dragons' performance because one player from our team scored tries, and that was Michaela Ravalawa.
The one time you don't tip him.
Yes. But I do want to say, this weekend, there's two lots of twins playing in the Dragons team. The Finau brothers and the Couchman brothers. The Couchman brothers are playing! It's beautiful.
Is that the first time two sets of twins are playing a rugby league game together? It's got to be, right?
I'm not sure if it is, but
Two sets of twins, come on.
it probably is, let's be real.
Yeah, so who are you taking, sir, on that note?
Dragons. I can't go past my boys.
How about you, Brandon? What are you thinking?
I think Dragons will lose. Yes.
Maybe a bounce back game from the Bunnies here. I agree there. Sorry, Dan. The 5:30 Saturday game is the West Tigers versus the New Zealand Warriors. Yeah, look, I think we'll get pantsed. I think the Warriors are going to have us. What do you reckon, Brandon?
Where's the game at? Is it?
It's a Tigers home game in Hamilton, New Zealand.
Yeah. So I think
What, good?
I think Warriors absolutely destroy you guys then.
I think I'll be watching the soccer.
Yeah,
But
look,
otherwise,
you're probably not wrong, and I would be shocked if any West Tigers fan makes the trip over there. Seriously, you've got to have rocks in your brain if you do that. Fucking. So that's 3-0 to the Wars there. The Saturday 7:30 game is the Sydney Roosters versus the Dolphins. Now, I'm fairly sure first game of the season this year for the Dolphins, they beat the Roosters. Would that happen again? What are you thinking?
yeah, I'll go the Dolphins just because fuck the Roosters.
Things up, baby, Brandon.
I think the Roosters win as they're trying to make a late push for the finals. I don't think they'll make it, but they are trying. And this is an easy kind of game, I guess, in a way.
Jermaine Asako double, Finns win. That's my call. The Sunday game, guys, we have the Storm versus the Raiders. Now, I used to like the Raiders until what happened to them last week against my beloved Tigers. So I'm all on the Storm hype train here. I want Pappenhausen back. I think the Storm are going to win.
Man, I couldn't fucking agree more. I want to see Paps back on the field, but I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think it might happen next week, maybe the week after. But I'm on the Storm train as well, baby.
Beautiful. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, Storm should win this one. Yeah, how good was seeing all the kids and everyone go and see Pappenhausen after his game. I think it was the most watched Queensland Cup game ever.
How the fuck do you watch Queensland Cup?
Fucking shit, you have to pay for some subscription or something, as if you would.
Pay for something, subscription. Well, look, the Sunday game, guys, look at your tip. What's your tip?
You say Storm will win very
Three-way
comfortably.
Storm, let's go.
What? We're having a three-way? What?
Ride the lightning storm, boys. Now, the Sunday game, this one, guys, if you need an afternoon nap, this is your one for you. The Knights versus the Bulldogs. only about 6 weeks ago, the Knights won 66-0. I hope it happens again. I'm going with the Knights. Dan?
Yeah, I'm going with the Knights as well. But yeah, I think it's. Yeah.
I think we're all on the ninth. I think this game will be a lot closer than that one. Like, they have got Kickout, they have got Sexton, they got their players back. So
Kick out back.
yeah, Kickout played last week, didn't he?
Oh,
Big
fuck,
kicks.
dude. I should've
Sexy
paid
time.
attention.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bulldogs had a bye last week.
Not last week, then the other week.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Fuck,
mate.
shows you
Kickout's
how
back.
much I care.
Kickout is back. And I think, yeah, the defense picked up the game because they're now 2 in a row. They had the bye and then they had the other win. So maybe they're on a streak. Maybe it's a redemption like Cowboys did to Tiger.
Redemption. And then the North Queensland Cowboys get a cheeky 2 points for playing the bye. That's it for the NRL tips this week, guys. But instead of NRL tips, how about we look at the couch commentators' best bets and their tip? All right, guys. So for Lucas's top tip this week, we are heading to the worst track in the country, Moonee Valley. I'm looking at race 9, number 4, Omni-Man. Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott have decided to take the Sydney Galloper down to Melbourne. It's in the benchmark 100 over 1,000 metres. The reason I'm taking this, he's an obvious leader, drawn barrier 1, so he will ping the gate, he will find the fence. And as we all saw a fortnight ago at Moonee Valley, if you get on that fence, it's basically a travelator. So once again, that is race 9, Moonee Valley, number 4, Omni-Man, paying $2.60. Bit short, should get the win though, for the reasons that I just described. We'll head over to Leachy's lock now. What do you got for us, sir?
Back again with Leachy's lock. Look, I picked the horse purely on name and name alone. It is the favourite though, $4.40. We are at Rose Hill, race 4, and we have picked Iron Will. And I like the name. William was my grandfather's name, so there's an omen right there. There's an omen. And, he's got some decent form coming off a win, so I think back-to-back wins is on the board. Billy Owen on board as well, so, yeah, I like it. I like
On you,
it.
Billy O.
And our grandfather's nickname was Bill, so
If that's not more of an omen, then I don't know.
I don't want to burst the bubble, guys, but I think anyone named William's nickname is Bill.
Lucas, shut the fuck up, yeah?
How about you, Dan? What have you got for your decision this week?
Mate, Dan's dumb decision is coming with a Super Saturday full of sports. So, this week, we got the Dragons to win. That's just all over right there. But anyway, let's keep going. The Matildas to get the dub. The Warriors and the Roosters to get the dub. And that's paying $34.62. And that's only because of the Dragons. If I take the Dragons out and put the Rabbitohs in, it's paying $6.
Well, there you go, guys. That's pretty good there. And Jim's jam. We'll cross live to Jim for his jam.
This week's Jim Jam, we've just gone for sure things. Like, we need to hit one. We got to hit one sometime. We're going Brian Toto, we're going Ronaldo Mulatalo, we're going Alex Johnson, and we're going Xavier Coates, paying $5.23. We're desperate. We're desperate, punters.
Fingers crossed he's got something good for us this week. But we'll round it off with our couch comment time try scorer. Dan, on of ahead first name, who have you got?
He scored 4 tries last week, and I didn't pick him. I'm going to pick him this week, and he won't fucking score. Michaeli Ravalawa, you better fucking score. And yeah, that's me.
Brandon, sir, what are you thinking?
I've tried picking Ronaldo 2 weeks in a row, and both times he gets pulled out of the game, so I will be going away from Ronaldo this time. I will be picking another Sharks player. We're going to pick Britton Nakora to score a try. I think I don't think he scored last week, so I think he's in a bit of a drought, so I think he'll cross over this week against a easy Titans team.
Very nice.
Lucas, please do not pick a Thursday night game.
I'll wait until Friday at 8 o'clock. I'm going to take Jordan Ricky of the Broncos. Decent odds for my couch commentators anytime try scorer.
Well, Brandon went 6 o'clock, so
So there you go. We will cross over to Jim for his pick in the anytime try scorer multi. Okay, fair enough. That's impressive. That's impressive. Look, guys, anything else for anyone to add, or?
Oh, nothing for me.
Nothing from me. I'm all good.
Yeah, good that, boys. It's another one done and dusted. All right, guys, that's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Next week, we should be back with all 4 of us here, which will be nice and good. Make sure to give us a like, a follow, and a subscription as well. You can purchase hats from the link in the description. And as always, guys, gamble responsibly and happy punting.